right. Okay, we're going to take a look at these next 5 games here. First, we're going to take a look at is Olympic going over to Independence. I think this could be a possible trap game for Independence as they got West Meck, a game that's highly anticipated coming up the week after this one. The key for Independence, I believe, is going to, still throw the ball. I know your coach, Coach Evans, said that he didn't look that good against North Meck. So I continue to throw the ball. You know, that's who you are. Mix in a little bit of Isaiah Robinson when they start backing those linebackers out. But continue to work your passing game. I know Hopkins was 9-21 last week, and I know those numbers are not typical of what he does. So you want to throw the ball, get your efficiency back in doing that, and attack the Olympic secondary. And they had trouble stopping the pass against Myers Park. So that's definitely the way I would, go at them. For Olympic, I think your key is you got to be able to control the Independence defensive line. Their defense has played lights out. 2 shutouts to start the season, and the defensive line starts it all. They get off the ball well. They play their gaps well. You got to be able to neutralize those guys at least up front, so you can get Garcia on the edges and the little, what they call the buck sweep that they run and all that. You want to be able to neutralize them so you can get outside and make some plays, and also make some plays downfield. I know, oh gosh, I forget his name. Quarterback.
Tinsley,
yeah. I know Tinsley didn't throw the ball much against Myers Park, but he's going to have to make some plays in the passing game to keep Independence off balance in the defensive area there. But hey, you cannot take Olympic lightly if you're Independence. If you look past them, they can come up and bite you.
well, Coach Evans was at the Olympic Myers Park game that Friday night because they played South Meck the night before.
Right.
So I guess it was a good opportunity for them to both see Myers Park and Olympic. I'm expecting he's not taking them lightly. It is kind of a trap game though, because they do have what many people think is going to be a bigger game with West Meck coming up. So if I'm Independence, I'm going to throw the ball. I'm going to continue to test that secondary of Olympic. So that's going to be what I do on offense. Certainly, you want to keep Robinson involved in the game, and let him have him get his yards. Defensively, Olympic's been known here in the past for for just about, I guess, all of Shuford's years of being a run team. Sometimes they throw the ball, and your defensive front's going to need to do a good job of stopping the run. I think for Olympic, I think that offensively they need to involve Tinsley. He was 5 for 7, I think it was, against Myers Park. It was good with his feet, scored a touchdown. He's as good as any of the quarterbacks I've seen this year. I'd say he's, he might be better than both Hopkins and Ratliff. I'd probably start him over both of those guys. He's got a good arm.
High praise right there.
That's high praise. He's got a great arm. He threw one ball in the Myers Park game, rolling to his left off his foot. Ball was 70 yards in the air. It was just slightly underthrown, not by much, but slightly. Kid's got an arm. So, if I'm Olympic, I'm going to involve him more. And obviously, the key for when Coach Evans saw that, he was there. Involve Tinsley more. You mentioned the buck sweep and all. I didn't see as much of the buck sweep in that Myers Park game. But Garcia needs to get his touches, get the ball in his hands, get his touches. And I think this could be one of the better ball games in the city, actually. I don't know what that says about the other ball games. Obviously, Independence should be a big favorite in this ball game. But
You gonna be there?
I haven't made my decision yet. I'm going to go to Providence Day and Davidson Day, which is over that way. And then, if I can, I like to be able to slip 2 games in. And so there's a lot of games on the east side. Games over at Rocky River we're going to be talking about. There's the game in Independence, and then there's the game over at Butler. So I'm going to see how I might be able to squeeze 2 of those games in.
All right. Another one down a little past the east side in Charlotte. Providence going down to Porter Ridge in a very interesting ball game here. Obviously, you've got Coach Justin Harden, who's the brother of Blair Harden, who was formerly at Porter Ridge, and also the defense coordinator Mike Hertz, who left Porter Ridge and went to Providence. So you got a lot of cross section going on in the coaching staff here. Key for Providence here against Porter Ridge, I think you got to control Jared Robbins. He didn't get the ball much in last week's game, but when he got the ball, he produced big time. I think if you slow him down, you take away their number 1 threat on the Porter Ridge side of the ball offensively, and you force them to do something else that maybe they don't want to do a lot of. The key for Porter Ridge, I think you got to slow down Austin Kroll. He came out of his shell after being bottled up by Huff last week against East Mac, had a couple touchdown passes. I think in both of these cases, you take away the team's number 1 threat, force them to some secondary things that they don't want to do necessarily, and you've got a better chance of slowing the offenses down here. I think this has the potential of being a pretty high-scoring game. You got kids on the offensive side of the ball here for both teams that can make plays. And the defenses, especially for Providence, giving them 22 to East Mac is a little concerning. And Porter Ridge, obviously under the new coaching staff, still getting adjusted a bit. I think this could be a very good ball game down in Union County.
If this game didn't start at 7:30, it might be the game I would start out at after this Providence Day, Davidson Day game. But starting at 7:30 makes it hard to do 2 games. It's impossible to do 2 games because the other games in Charlotte start at 7. So, by the time you leave there at halftime, the other games are just about ending by the time you get to them. And then the flip side, maybe you could get over to Porter Ridge. Porter Ridge is a little bit of a ride. But it might make it a little easier to get to Porter Ridge for the second half. But I really want to be there for the first half for the Boneyard. You're going to have to join me sometime.
I still have not gone to this Boneyard thing, so I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
So at some point, we're going to need to make a point to go there so you can experience the Boneyard. For this game, you mentioned the coaching things, and just the other thing that I'll add is Justin was on the staff for the state championship game last year. So, he did come over and help coach that ball game. He helped Blair, as did a number of other people, Coach Hastings, Papa Harden, and there were several other coaches that were helping. So. And there's some other Porter Ridge coaches over at Providence besides the defensive coordinator. So Providence knows Porter Ridge almost as well as Porter Ridge knows Porter Ridge. At least knows the personnel, doesn't know the freshmen, but they know the seniors, juniors, and sophomores. So I think that Providence knows what they need to do, what they can do and can't do. They have a good understanding of that. So again, from what I've seen of Providence, throw the ball. You got a big time receiver in Prohl. Throw him the ball. Get the ball into his hands. Make plays. You got some good running backs. Good offensive line. Obviously mix them in. Defensively, you're going to have to. I think Porter Ridge is going to be able to be a little more effective than East Mecklenburg was. So,
yeah, I think so as well.
Wherever your breakdowns were, you're going to need to fix those. And it sounds like they were in your secondary, which I'm not surprised with a little bit that I've seen of Providence. That you guys are going to have to step up and make plays, because I'm certain that Porter Ridge has gotten, and we know they've got the game film. We know that's where they're going to attack. So the flip side would be Porter Ridge throw the ball, find ways to throw the ball. And then on the defensive side, you're going to need to lock down those receivers. Lock down Prohl. Don't let them get the ball to him. Limit his touches. Defensive front, you need to apply pressure to the quarterback. I think that's it.
All right. Moving on, taking a look now at Sun Valley at Rocky River, and a game that is, I think, it's another interesting ball game here. Key for Rocky River, I mean, like we said with Kafka and Elijah Hood, what do you think Sun Valley's got? Albert Funderburk. You got to stop Albert Funderburk. And what the number of carries that he got, it sounds like that Sun Valley might have moved more towards the wing tee and away from the spread, which I think is a good move based on what we saw in week 1. Rocky River offensively, you got to find a way to get some consistency going. Only 8 points against South Meck was a little concerning with the talent that's on the Rocky River sideline. They've had issues with drops in the passing game, issues with the offensive line in the run game. I think you got to get those backs, get them outside and get them in space. You know, maybe some sweeps, off tackle plays. Maybe get them some screen passes, build the quarterback's confidence in the passing games, things like that. Key for Sun Valley, obviously, Rocky River's going to attack. They're going to try to put maybe 8 in the box or even 9 in the box and just man your receivers on the outside to shut down Funderburk. So you've got to be able to make plays off of play action. And you did that well out of the wing tee against Christian and helped you get back in the ball game in week 1. So those play action passes, I think, can possibly hit big against Rocky River because they're going to play man coverage. They got the guys that can do it, but if you can make plays against it, you can get some big plays out of the passing game.
Agree. Sun Valley, Funderburk needs to touch the ball 20 plus times.
Yeah.
You know, he's your man, and sometimes you got to ride your horse, but you can't go to your horse too much. So you need to find some other ways or some other plays to make things happen. We kind of saw some little bit of weaknesses in that Statesville scrimmage in the passing.
Yeah.
Statesville was a little bit successful passing the ball. Rocky River kids were covering, but didn't quite make the play. So, I think Sun Valley might need to throw the ball a little bit just to open things up for Funderburk. I'm not saying so you're going to have to throw the ball. Receivers going to have to step up. You got to make some plays. I like finding maybe the backs, some swing passes or screen passes. I love a screen, especially if that defense starts getting very aggressive because, you run. Play action and screen. And Coach Harmon, I know you know these things. Defensively, hey, you're going to have to stop Funderburk. That's what they're going to bring at you. So, that's going to be your thing is your defense is going to have to stop Funderburk. He can hurt you. He's a strong kid. He's not just this little fast scat bag. The kid's got some power too. So stop Funderburk. I'd key on Funderburk. From what we saw in that scrimmage, in Christian when they switched to that wing tee, they were a lot more effective. So that's what you're going to have coming at you. So don't be fooled by those linemen. So the other thing on defense is the defensive linemen are going to need to be sound in your position and pay attention to the guys pulling and don't get fooled. I think that's really it. Oh, other than I do want to say I think this has the potential of being a huge rivalry because these teams are very close to each other. Indian Trail and East,